What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Turkey Day. Everyone out there in America, I'm sure, like myself, many of you watching this are just utterly depressed with the games that we have on slate today. Washington, Dallas. Detroit, Houston. Maybe it'll be a half-decent game, but the big game tonight, Baltimore and Pittsburgh, COVID stuff happened, and it got pushed to Sunday. That game was going to be awesome, and now we just have two kind of stinker games. Two games that, I want to say two games of bad teams that have nothing to play for, but that Washington-Dallas game is for first place in the NFC least. So it is what it is. What I figured today, just in the spirit of Thanksgiving and just doing a draft, and I was just eating supper, and I was like, that could be an okay video, I suppose. We are doing a Madden 21 fantasy draft rebuild where we have to draft players on teams that are playing in Thanksgiving. So I'm glad I'm recording this the night before and not, record a couple days earlier, and I had people from the Steelers and the Ravens, and it just wouldn't really make sense. So today, from players on the Detroit Lions, Houston Texans, Washington Football Team, and Dallas Cowboys, those four teams I'm going to have to draft, hopefully something that looks similar to a super team, and try and win a Super Bowl. Now, the reason why I want to do fantasy drafts versus just an offline player management, just building a super team of these four teams and trying to win, is that I want it to be a little bit more challenging. Because if I can land all these top targets, of course this team's going to dominate. If I had Deshaun Watson, Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper, Scary Terry, Kenny Golladay, Tyron Smith, if I was able to cherry pick all of the best players, it would be pretty good. But the challenge is that I'm not going to be able to do that. I should be able to get a lot of them, but there's going to be certain times where I'm going to have to go with depth players on the Cowboys, like a backup safety or some shit like that to finish up my roster. So it's going to be important how we decide to draft, and we are right here on the clock at pick number 12, where, again, I don't know if you guys are leaving comments for this, because usually I just control F for questions. So I'm looking for, what order do I need to draft players? Because I am just terrible at it. Because, I know I should probably get a quarterback. Dak's 27, 87 superstar. Deshaun Watson's probably the guy that we want, right? I don't even want to overthink it. Looking at all the other players, I don't think Chase Young, probably outside of Chase Young, and I might be able to get him in the second round, maybe? Where's he at? He's a right end, right? Oh, I don't know. Ideally, in a perfect world, we'll be able to get our quarterback and then Chase Young in the second round. That is my direction. But either way, we have to kind of go QB. And obviously, me being an Eagles fan, I would not prefer to have Dak Prescott on my team. So I'm going to grab Deshaun Watson in the first round. Here's hoping in the second round, we can get Chase Young. Chase Young was eventually off the board. So I'm going to grab the better of the dev traits. We're going to grab Kenny Golladay here in the second round. 86 superstar dev wide receiver, 26 years old. So in the scope of 4 or 5 years, it's usually how long these rebuilds take, he's still going to be pretty damn good. I shouldn't have to worry about any regression. On the back end, we'll give it some love. I don't think he's regressed dev traits, so he should have a superstar dev trait, and that is Jeff Okudah out of the Detroit Lions. Back-to-back line picks. Now, as things come around the swing of things, I'm kind of hoping Terry McLaurin's still there. Love Scary Terry at my wideout spot. And he is there. Scary Terry. Pick number 4. Come on down. Now let's just finish out a prolific offense. We'll grab Will Fuller. We'll be 3 wide, 3 deep at wide receiver. Will Fuller, Scary Terry, Kenny Golladay. With Deshaun Watson throwing the ball, good luck stopping that. All right, Zach Martin just went, so I'm I don't want to lose really the best available lineman left. So I'm going to grab Brandon Schreff of Washington Football Team, our second member of Washington. Now on this Thanksgiving special super all-star team of excellent and turkey eating. Gonna get a little bit of help on the back end. We only have one DB so far, and that is Jeff Okudah. So I'm gonna follow it up with another very young DB that has plenty of room to grow, and that is Justin Reed of the Houston Texans. I think we have 2 picks left to make. I know for sure what my next pick's gonna be because there's literally only one available. One guy, one name at one spot, at one position. Can you guess who it is? All these teams except Detroit have terrible tight ends, so we're going to grab T.J. Hockenson, young tight end, only 23 years old, off the Detroit Lions. All right, waited a little long on the D tackles. We had 3 options, all 3 of the D tackles on Washington, Daron Payne, Matt Ioannidis, and John Allen. I thought they would still be here. I'm pretty sure they've been 8, 9, 10, somewhere in that range in previous ones. They're all gone. So because there's a massive drop-off, we'll just grab Danny Shelton here, 27, no dev trait, but he's still a base 80 overall, solid, just, nose tackle in the center of that defense. And we got one pick left before I just finish out the team itself. Let's make it count. Probably should have drafted Montez Sweat earlier. So we're going to go back to our second option. Now we might have to move into the D. Either we're going to move to D tackle or we have to stay at a 3-4 defense. But he has a dev trait. He's kind of young, 24, still room to grow. So our final pick will be defensive end Deshaun Hand from the Detroit Lions. So I'll go finish out the rest of the team, fill them up of Texans, Cowboys, football team members, and members of the Detroit Lions, and we'll finish this out. So the draft has concluded. Let's meet our team. I think we're solid. A pretty solid 78 overall, 81 offense, 76 defense. I have no idea what scheme we're going to run on the defensive side of the ball. But we have Deshaun Watson at quarterback. At running back, we're going DeAndre Swift and Antonio Gibson, two very talented rookies. We have Actually, I got an honest fullback at the Texans fullback there. Scary Terry, Golladay, Will Fuller, Kiki Kuti, Gandy Golden, and Cephas. So we have actually really, really good, really, really strong wide receiver room. We have Hockenson, Fells, and Schultz at tight end. Offensive line, I moved Sheriff from right guard to left tackle because left tackle is the most important part in a sim, and he was our highest overall lineman. We have Jonah Jackson, Chase Roulier, Connor Williams, and Titus Howard. But I was surprised. Howard and Chase Roulier both have star devs, so that should help them with some form of development over the next couple seasons. Defensive line, we have Deshaun Hand, Austin Bryant. We got Charles Amenahu and Bradley Anai. D tackle, Danny Shelton, and Tristan Hill. So it's I don't know. I want to try and I want to be a 4-3, but I don't know. Linebacker core, we have John Grenard. We have Zach Cunningham and Khaleke Hudson. So linebackers incredibly thin. Missing out on Vander Esch, Jalen Smith. Hurt pretty bad. Like those guys brought plans and they were surprisingly off the board when I expected them to be there. Secondary, we have Garyon Conley, Amani Oruwariye, Jeff Okudah, and Trayvon Diggs. Now, I have these injuries on. I guess I forgot to turn off existing injuries, which is very annoying. So, I don't know. Hopefully, these guys are ready to play sooner than later. I got, 21 weeks there. That's awesome. And, 15 weeks there. Sensational. Tracy Walker, Justin Reed. Okay, so I'm going to have to... who's the best? 76, 82. Let's see. Who's the best cover? We're going to have to move one of these guys from safety to corner. That's probably what we'll make Justin Reed. He probably should still be 70, like high 70s, right? If we move him to corner. Things we have to do. Let's see. It goes from an 83 strong safety to a 82 corner. All right, we're fine. We're fine. We're going to make it. I got Greg the Leg, Legatron, and Tressway. Really strong special teams unit. I'm going to have to fill... I don't know. I'm going to have to grab some extra guys here, I believe, for my team to make roster minimums. But generally speaking, I'm optimistic that once we get healthy, especially on the back end, we've got a competitive team here. That Deshaun Watson and that offense, they're going to be able to score a lot of points. I'm expecting 30-plus points every single week. All right, we're going to have to go 3-4 for the time being on our defense. So we're going to have Amenahu, Shelton, and Deshaun Hand on the front three. Bradley Anai and John Grenard at outside linebacker with Zach Cunningham and Khaleke Hudson inside. Oh my God. We're going to have to be like a team that just every game's going to turn into a shootout. We have to score more points because this defense most likely is going to give up a whole lot of points. This year's kind of been a little bit of a throw up, especially with the injuries and stuff that had the injuries on. But good news, Xavier Woods, who got promoted to strong safety after he moved Justin Reed to corner, just went up dev trade. So he went from a normal to a star and now got 20,000 XP. So that's really good to have an emerging player on the back end of the defense. A little bit late this year, again, it's a write-off, but we had another dev trade. Charles Amenahu is a starting defensive end, a normal dev from the Houston Texans, has gone up star dev, plus another 20,000 XP. So much like Xavier Woods, we got a brand new, potential star on the defense. Oh, yeah. That'll do it. I'm just going to feed him into Power Rusher. I could go Scheme Fit here, but I don't know. I just want a power rusher. I need someone that can develop to be a guy that gets after the quarterback. Because Deshaun Hand's already a run stuffer. 2 run stuffers. I get it. You have you hold your assignments good. You let your outside, but we don't really have the edges to generate a whole lot of pressure on the quarterback. It's gonna have to be guys like Amenahu that step up. So there we go, man. 77 star, a lot better than what he was. 73 normal dev. So at the end of the season, we don't clearly we're gonna make the playoffs. 6-10 bottom dwellers. If we had our corners, if we had Garyon Conley, we had some of these injuries that, were properly off, we had our full strength lineup, probably wasn't going to be much better. Look at our stats on the year. Deshaun Watson played well, though. 35 touchdowns. Hell yeah. I mean, that's the strength of this team is the passing offense. 7-5 there for DeAndre Swift, but we had 9-12 for Scary Terry, 8-5 for Will Fuller, 7-7 Hawk. Got it. Kind of want to see more of Kenny Golladay for sure. He was our big flashy signing there, and he had 600 yards, 3 touchdowns. Gibson at the backfield, 4-6 is pretty good. Defensively, Zach Cunningham, 100 tackles for the team. We had over 100 for Justin Reed, 100 for Jeff Okudah, 100 for Khalil Hudson, and 100 for Xavier Woods. So a lot of time spent on the defensive side of the ball. Amenhu had 18 TFLs and 5 sacks. That's actually a really good year. He had the breakout scenario, which was nice up to a star dev. Shelton, 14 TFLs, 17 TFLs for Deshaun Hand. But the sacks generally are down. Interceptions, couple twos, couple singles. It's, above average. 28th offense in the NFL. I thought we were going to be better. I thought we'd be like at least top 15. Things just weren't good enough. Yearly awards MVP went to Russell Wilson. We'll just see if there's any lines that won an award. Okay. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Khalil Hudson. Cool. Jeff Okudah coming in at 4, but Defensive Rookie of the Year award is always a nice feather in the cap. Not much there for special teams in defensive side of the ball, but looking at our team, dev traits. Do we want to go up a dev trait? Any hidden dev traits to talk about? Well, DeAndre Swift had a hidden dev trait. He came out as a star dev player. Nothing else on the offensive side of the ball. These guys are just suffering with the morale. Defensively, we got, well, as always, John Grenard and Bradley Anai, 2 rookies that had normal devs because they play outside linebacker. Automatically went up dev trait, which is cool, which is fine. And Charles Amenahu, we earned a star dev, went up to a superstar dev. So, nice. We got a new freak beast on the defensive line. The positives of having a panic 3-4 defense is we got 3 new dev traits, and that's good, and that's a good thing. So let's get into the offseason. Now we can approach this draft to try to kind of fill in the spots and make this 3-4 defense a little bit better, and maybe try to find some more consistency on the offensive side of the ball. Or free agency, same approach. If there was a guy that was on the Cowboys football team, Texans or Lions, that I kind of wanted, or I missed out on the initial draft, I would bid. And we got Jordan Lewis, 26 star dev corner of the Dallas Cowboys. Bring him back in, gives us maybe some more flexibility. We can kick Jordan Reed back to safety. We could keep him at corner and have a better solid 3. It just makes the most sense here to grab on the star dev because I know our third corner is Garyon Conley, who's chilling on a normal dev. All right, we got Dorian Walker in the first round. Just showing this for something that I'm kind of keen in on. If someone, when you're looking at a Madden Generate draft class, has early first round grade, I'm pretty sure more often than not they're normal dev players. Because this guy had early first round grade, and of course he's one of those typical top 10 picks with a normal dev. But still, we kind of need it. Bradley and I, even though he got a star dev trait, he's only like a 66 overall. We could do better. You need another pass rusher, and hopefully, like Anai, Dorian Walker as a 1-year starter. Hopefully, we'll get that cheesy outside linebacker dev trait. Because if not, I'll be pissed. So to start our draft class, went heavy on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, as we said, outside of the first round pick, I got another 75 Gardenier from Wisconsin, 6'4", 301. He's going to be more so a D-end in our scheme. We got another D-tackle just because it was best player available. And again, another guy most likely will be converted to a defensive end. I got depth as an edge rusher, a speed rusher, Cartwright, normal dev, 65 middle linebacker, and a 67 free safety. All in all, though, pretty solid haul for no dev traits. And at the end of year 2, copy and paste, 6 and 10. Not last. At least the Vikings kind of sucked there a little bit. With 1900 coach XP, I should be able to finish getting the last of the defense, which I can. The linebacker boost. Let's see what happened. Well, we had no dev trait scenarios, which is weird because last year we had a lot. Like, I think I had 3 or 4 dev trait scenarios last year. I didn't get a single one this year. So no dev traits were happening on either side of the ball. When we look at statistically here in year 2, what's going on? Deshaun Watson dropped off a little bit. Top 10 in yards. 27 and 9 is not bad, but it's also not great. Running attack, the combined effort's not bad, but individually, a little less than to be desired. Good year for Scary Terry. 85 catches, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, 1,005 for TJ Hockenson, 8 and 8 for Fuller, 6 and 3 for Kenny Golladay. So I just love the fact that wide receiver 1's just my least targeted player for some reason. Defensively, Cunningham over 100 tackles. Hudson also had over 100 tackles. 7 sacks from Menahu, 6.5, and 13 at TFLs from Matt Gardner. which is awesome. 3 interceptions from Justin Reed, who seems to be transitioning very well to his new cornerback spot. Number 19 in the NFL in offensive yards. Defensively, 14th, so we're better. Even though our record was the same, we were marginally better on either side. That's about all you can ask for. Deshaun coming in at number 8 in the MVP race. And then for the individual awards, Gardenier, Defensive Rookie of the Year. So back-to-back years, we've had Defensive Rookie of the Year, which is good, I guess. You know, Matt Patricia's a defensive guy. He's getting the most out of his young defensive players, but still no postseason. So let's go into year 3 and try to improve that. I'm so over these draft classes. But all right, here's our second round pick. Number 3 in true value, 76 normal. Our first round pick was 75 normal middle linebacker. It's just so boring. Like, I can't get over the fact that it's designed to do this. I know how I make all the draft classes. I make draft classes consistently. There is no way in hell that the algorithm that creates and generates these draft classes doesn't have something that dictates what dev traits go where. So this is by design, and it just gives you more reason to hate the Madden franchise dev team. Why? So here's my draft class, and it looks amazing. I got no dev traits. I got a 75 middle linebacker, normal dev, 76 corner, normal dev, 72 quarterback, backup, never going to play him, but just because he was drafted and scouted, of course, he has a hidden dev trait, which is awesome. I got a 73 corner, normal dev trait. I got a 68 free safety, normal dev trait, a 64 tackle, normal dev trait, and a 65 running back, normal dev trait. All right, the midway point of year 3, 3 and 5, a little bit off the mark, but we developed a pretty damn good team. Like, there's no changes. That's why I didn't show you guys another refresher. I feel like I'm insulting your guys' intelligence if I show you what the team looks like before the beginning of every season. But here's where we're at. Nothing really has changed. Richard's first round, highest draft pick will be starting middle linebacker. We'll actually might as well put Gardenier at starting D tackle. But it's year 3, so it's the first wave of, like, you got some decisions to make in terms of your salary cap. So Amenahu, absolutely, he's kind of been the diamond in the rough here in this series. I want him to be on this team for the full time. We might as well put a little bit of respect on the punter's name and see if he'll want to be here for the entirety of the rebuild. Gibson has a healthy tandem relationship going with DeAndre Swift, which is good. Legatron, sure. If you'll take 2 years, I'll keep you on for the special teams. Roulier at center at this point in time, I don't think I'm going to be able to draft or get a better replacement. Same goes for Jonah Jackson, so we'll get you on a 2-year. We'll get Titus Howard with that star dev trade. Maybe even give you something like a 3-year. Connor Williams, same thing. It's just, I'm not going to have enough time to replace any of these guys on the offensive line. And there's a part of, like, I want to hold the integrity of this team. Why it was built for the Thanksgiving Day special. So when I can, even if it's not a great contract, even if it's not the smartest rebuild decision, when I can keep the players that I originally drafted that are starters and slated to be starters, I will do so in this type of series. It's annoying. At one point, we were 7 and 5. We lost, 1 and 3 in the final 4 games, and probably cost ourselves a chance at the playoffs via the wild card. So, well, we still got 2 more years. Let's find some sort of success. And the quarterback we drafted is an X factor. Cool. And I kid you not. If you're someone that has an elephant's-like memory, I think the last and only other time I have drafted a superstar X factor was in a rebuild where I drafted him in year 4 and year 5 as my backup to my main quarterback, and I was never going to play him. So I have 2 superstar X factors on record in Madden 21, and both of them are quarterbacks that I'll never use. So that's about as Madden 21. Like, Madden 21 is the perfect Madden for 2020, isn't it? Huh? Doesn't it just encompass everything that makes the year 2020 super special? Let's grab wide receiver training, whatever. Let's look at the stats though from year 3. I assume they were pretty good. It's our best finish so far at 8-8. Deshaun Watson, 34 touchdowns, 5 picks. I'm happy with that. 9, 50, and 13 for DeAndre Swift. Happy with that. No 1,000 receivers, but all generally, solid numbers. Nothing elite, though, given the fact that almost all those guys are elite. Will Fuller, not Will Fuller, he's kind of one-dimensional, but I think Scary Terry's getting into borderline elite territory. Same with Kenny Golladay. But it is what it is. Huge year for Zach Cunningham. 141 tackles, 10 TFLs. We got 11.5 sacks for Amenahu. It's nice that we had a little bit of a breakout player. Justin Reed has been phenomenal since we made that move from strong safety to corner. Led our team in interceptions. 2 of our 3 seasons. Okudah with 3 picks. I like seeing that. The 19th offense in the NFL defensively. 16th, so, you know, middle of the park. Russell Wilson is the MVP. Deshaun Watson coming in at number 7 in the NFC. Do we have any outright award winners? Nope. All right, year 4. Here's our draft class. I honestly got bothered. Like, after that normal dev, like, it just makes it like, why am I playing that? Like, so I just simmed it, and let's see what kind of haul they got. We got a 72 tackle. Normal dev, second round, 69 normal dev wide receiver. We got a 70 normal dev D tackle, 69 normal dev wide receiver, 67 normal dev outside linebacker, 65 normal dev corner, and then a 61 normal dev D tackle. It's not a bad draft class. Getting an offensive lineman, it's not the worst thing you could do. Get in year 4. So we'll do kind of a quick refresher of where our team is at as we enter year 4. 2 years left to try to win a Super Bowl. 88 overall, 92 offense, 84 defense. So one of the more prolific offenses in the NFL. Deshaun Watson, 93. We got DeAndre Swift up to an 85. Galladay's a 94. McLaurin, Scary Terry, 95. Will Fuller's an 87. Sheriff, 89. Rest of the O-lines, it's coming together. It's coming together. And Hockenson, sooner than later, will become a member of the 90-plus club. On the defensive line, we have a Mena who's been a freak monster. Gardner went up dev trait from normal to A-star. Deshaun Hand's been solid. Reed and Okudah have been good and developing nicely at corner. Linebacking core, it is what it is. It's nothing too spectacular. The safety tandem likewise, but it's still a team that generally doesn't have any weakness. So I'm firmly expecting playoffs here in year 4. If I do something special, I'll try to send my superstar X-Factor quarterback a first and second round pick. Maybe I can get with 2 first. Because Leighton Vander Esch really was like the big player that I'm missing, and there's still an obvious hole where we don't have like a great middle linebacker. Leighton Vander Esch, 91 superstar. And the Giants, their current quarterback is, just to know, like, they don't want a superstar X Factor because they're happy with a 30-year-old star dev Teddy Bridgewater. Hate this game. Midway part of the year, 3-4. It's not great. It's not great. Contracts, well, let's just do an initial run through here. Hockenson, absolutely want to keep him at tight end. Justin Reed, absolutely want to keep him at corner. Maybe that's something you guys could have figured out here. If you're playing on the Texans or something like that, Justin Reed is pretty good when you move him to corner. He's been arguably our best player on the defensive side of the ball. But all these guys want a little bit more money, but I'm clearly not in a position to let any of them go, so I'll have to re-up on pretty much all of these deals for the most part. We'll get Cunningham, middle linebacker. I like O'Reilly at corner here. He's been solid. He's developed nicely. Like Tracy Walker with that dev trait. The dev traits always make these guys look a little bit better than what they actually are. So yeah, we will come back for DeAndre Swift, Brendan Sheriff, and Justin Reed, and that'll be it for in-house signings. Year 4 ends the same way as the first 3 years. Hey, not good at all. Second to last in the division. 6-10 for a 90 overall team. I'm sure this is going to be awesome for one more year. Deshaun Watson with 25 touchdowns, even though he's a 95 overall, and his receivers are 88 overall, 95 overall, 96 overall, and a 91 overall tight end. 13 sacks for Gardner. That's actually those are really good numbers for a D tackle. That's a nose tackle, putting up those type of numbers. 10th offense. Okay, the only way I'm not going to bitch, did we have a lot of rushing touchdowns? We didn't. All right, yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but we had 10th most yards. 12th defense. We're getting there, yet we're still not moving in terms of our team's overall record. For individual awards, nothing for a Detroit Lion. Let's get into year 5. God damn it, this rebuild's about as bad as the games we have on slate today. For the final free agent period, actually spending a little bit of money. I'm going to spend all my money. Zach Martin is here, so he kind of fits the idea of this rebuild. I'm going to make sure that there's no way he won't come. He obviously is a huge upgrade. One of the best guards, highest rated guards in Madden. 97 presents a 16-point upgrade over what we currently have in Connor Williams. And surely Zach Martin is the missing piece for this team that's filled of 90-plus overall skill position players to put it all together. Look at the dev trait for 2. Hate my job. Okay, I'm not even showing the draft class because it was depressing and everyone had normal dev traits. So even though I got the number 2 player. We brought in Zach Martin in free agency. So hopefully that's the missing piece for Deshaun Watson to start playing really well, right? Defensively, they're coming along. We had Walker here, this outside linebacker, Dorian Walker. He's now up to a superstar dev, which is nice. Other than that, we had no dev traits gained. But I turned off dev trait regression because I recommend everyone does it because it's just another thing that's broken within the Madden world. So no dev traits have been lost. This team is peaked. God, if we get 6 wins again, I'm about to break my controller. Playoffs. 8. It's playoffs. Might be 8-8. But we have made the playoffs. We are the second lowest team to make the playoffs. Even though I'm confident we're probably the highest overall team, or one of the highest overall teams. But we're 8-8. We can go on a run. A little bit of a run, right? Deshaun Watson was awesome. Elite quarterback play from Deshaun Watson yet again. From our 96 overall superstar dev quarterback at his prime. Elite play. Doug Swift actually didn't have I can't even meme him for that. That's not bad. 900 yards, 14 touchdowns. 11 and 10 for Will Fuller. God. Love Kenny Galladay's stat line since we brought him in. Absolutely love it. Like, look, in the NFL, 1,000. We got 1,011. What is he doing for me? 5-3, 6-3, 7-5, 9-3, 6. Awesome. Love it. Appreciate it. Awesome. Working as intended. Cunningham had a nice year. 114 tackles, 7 TFLs, 5.5 sacks, 2 picks. 8.5 sacks of Menahu. He's been a pleasant surprise. 5 interceptions from Tracy Walker, 3 from Justin Reed. What we've at least been able to take away from this rebuild is moving Justin Reed from safety to corner. Kind of a smart move. He plays very, very well. It's doable. Yearly awards, MVP went to Russell Wilson. In terms of individual awards, any Detroit Lions showed up? No, a whole lot of New Orleans Saints. So here we go. Our Thanksgiving Day 2020 theme squad has a chance to go on a playoff run here, and it starts against divisional rival, the 11-5 Chicago Bears. There's your good-looking team. Gilmore, Zadarius Smith, Roquan, Ceedee Lamb, Budda Baker, Devin Duvernay, a couple of randoms, led by Ryan Tannehill. Come on, Matty P. It's a snow game. 0% chance I'm going to hop in. Let's see, man. Deshaun Watson usually puts guys on skates when he has to scramble and extend plays. And now he literally has some assistance in doing so. But looking at that Bears team just running down, they have a very well-built defense. So I don't think points are going to come by too easy. As Chicago takes a 21-14 lead midway through the first half. We tied up at 21 apiece. That is everything in the half. Second half, 21-21. Bears get the first score, a field goal to go up 24-21. But we are not selling for field goals here today until there, where we have a nice 7-point lead. Both teams kind of going back and forth. I'm sure Chicago will get a tying touchdown here. All right, looks like a turnover, and we were able to punish them with the turnover. 38-31, less than a minute to go. Can the Detroit Lions see this one out? They do. 38-31. Took us 5 years to get to the playoffs, and we're going up against fat stat. Oh my God, it's not even tails or star. We got whatever. Compose yourself. Matt Stafford finally makes the playoffs, has an unreal game, and Deshaun Watson just skates on by to the divisional round. Okay, second round, we get the Rams. I actually forgot to preview the roster, so I have no idea what we're going up against. They got Alvin Kamara. Nice. So they got an absolute playmaker out the backfield. He gets the opening touchdown. We're able to flex on him a little bit there, too. Looks like literally their whole offense is Alvin Kamara. That's all that I'm seeing pop up for them. As they have a 14-7 lead in the first half. We love our offense just to put it into gear. Tied up at 14 in the third quarter. Legatron gets the extra point there. A couple scores being traded. We need a stop, which we don't get. Might as well come in on fourth down. Why not? 4th and 1. Let's go slants. That's what I do. Golladay, McLaurin, Will Fuller. Will Fuller's actually probably the best guy on the slants because he has the best ability to take it to the house. If we can get a little bit of run here. For Deshaun Watson.
Watson on the keeper. It's a turnover on down.
I hope everyone out there watching today is having a fantastic Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. Get some turkey, mashed potatoes, everything else. Thanks for watching this terrible video. It's probably worse than the 2 games we have on slate today. What do we got? I'm thinking Dallas probably beats Washington. And Houston. I mean, Houston got some momentum beating the Patriots last week. Give me Houston and Dallas. The state of Texas goes off on Thanksgiving. Have a safe, happy Thanksgiving. Wear your masks. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. We might do an Eagles video, something fun, because this was absolutely terrible.